Good afternoon. So I'm always trying to come up with different ideas for the YouTube channel, mix it up. I mean, yeah, bird vlogs, equipment reviews, travel vlogs, all that kind of stuff. Great, but interesting other things as well. I think there's a lot of stories hidden or stored away with other photographers. That'd be great to hear. I've got my stories and I've been in it 4 years. What about if I meet someone who's been doing it, 50, 60 years? It'd be great to sort of just bump into fellow bird watchers on a walk and there's a spare 10 minutes. Say, have you seen the channel? If not, I explain. And do you want to do an interview? It will go up. Everyone will see who you are. So it'll be up to you to say yes or no. I'll ask some questions like, where's your favorite place to go? What's your equipment setup? What's a particularly memorable experience? Things like that. And then I'll finish it up with their social so people can find their work on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. So what I'm going to do is, to give you an example, I'm going to interview myself with the questions. Now, the questions aren't set forever. They will grow as I think of more. And if you suggest more things you'd like to hear from other photographers. So I've come up with about a dozen or so, which I think cover most points, and we'll go. So I'm not going to do some crazy split screen that's too complicated. I'll just have me on the right asking the question, have me on the left, and just edit it together. No funny business. I thought maybe I'll just take the hat off for me answering the questions and leave it on for me asking. Forget it. I'll just stay like this. Okay. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so I'm here with famous worldwide bird photographer Justin Snedden, aka Justin Snedden, aka Stormcat Birds. He's brilliant. And we're going to ask him these interview questions about bird watching. All right, calm down, mate. Yeah, I'll get to them. So, how long have you been bird watching? I started bird watching, when they started to, I can't say the words because, so about March, April 2020? What got you into bird watching? Well, I started for that reason of the stuck at home. I like to take photos. I'm usually a street photographer or travel photographer. What am I going to do? I'll put some feeders up in the garden and just attract birds and just sit there and see anything flying over, and got hooked from there. What's the usual setup? Camera wise, scope, blah, blah, blah. So this is my Canon camera and my Canon of a lens. My 200 to 800mm lens, Canon R7, Rode microphone to record sound. As you know, I do a lot of video now, so I want to record that. I've got a selfie tripod here. I drink. Little DJI 2 mic because it cuts out in the wind. Brilliant. My chest harness, a couple of phones, one for recording and the other one for, if the network on that one drops out, I can use this one and use it for references while I'm recording on that. I'll listen to a podcast on a wire if it gets a bit quiet. I've got a rucksack, water, other bits and pieces, rain covers. So that pretty much covers it. Favorite area, nature reserve. So I could be very loyal and say Crossness because it's local to me and it's my go-to for if I've only got an hour or two in the day. But for sheer numbers, it has to be Elmley. Anything up to 4 owl species, most raptor species. I haven't seen a goshawk yet. So I'm going to overall have to say Elmley. I mean, 35 minutes drive away. And there's no dogs. You can drive a lot of the track, which means you're basically in a hide. I've been going there 4 years. I've probably been there a couple of hundred times now. So Elmley, close second, Crossness for loyalty reasons. Best bird watching moment. I'm going to go my favorite bird photo and my favorite bird and my favorite moment, because they just all go together. They're probably more like, I saw 3 barn owls fledge across nests about 3 years ago, right in front of me. I had it all to myself, flew across, landed on a post. I could say that, but I'm going to say in Costa Rica, it's out of the country. Costa Rica, I came out of out of the apartment on the second or third day. I just opened the door and there was a blue-grey tanager on a reed or on a branch. Perfection, just the colours, it's only green on the background and the bird is blue. but it's just stunning. And it's like, whoa, this is birding. You open the door and something totally tropical is right there. So yeah, that was amazing. And then it just so happens, because of the colors and the framing, my favorite. Everything around that whole thing is now my favorite bird. You know, I could say macaw or some other crazy, wild, colorful hummingbird, but that blue, you know, and I nailed it with the sharpness on the eyes. Okay, and your biggest dip for the viewers is a bird you went to go and see and you didn't see it, is a dip. That's a tough one. I haven't really run for many birds. I won't run too far, because I had a couple of times where I maybe went 45 minutes an hour somewhere and didn't see it, and I'm like, it's like a needle in a haystack. So I tend not to run. One day I did go out there were 3 lifers, and I thought, well, there's 3 of them, and I drove and I found one, and the other one, I think arguably going all the way to Staines Reservoir from here and for the Frigna duck, and it felt really like a wild goose chase. I was walking on these back paths along a reservoir going, what am I doing here? And the traffic meant it took me like an hour and a half to get it just into London. So that was really annoying. That was one of the ones that sealed the deal, that I'm not chasing lifers. If I'm on the way there anyway, but I'm not going specifically, especially when there's a massive crowd when I get there. So yeah, no specific ones, but that particular one I suppose comes to mind. Equipment failure that cost you. Yeah, Costa Rica. I was mucking around trying to be cheap. I was keeping my batteries from my previous camera, which was not mirrorless. So they worked in this mirrorless, but they kept running out of power super quickly, and they didn't operate the electronic shutter very well. So I was mucking around. I thought, oh, you know, I'll get 100 shots and then I'll change the battery. One morning, I forgot to charge up the main battery, went out for my walk, and a belted kingfisher landed 10 feet in front of me and just looked at me. Battery dead. Oh, you kid. So I quickly took the battery out, blew it, tried to warm it in my hands, get some charge in it, put it back. The bird was still there. A minute later, I did this. After about 2 minutes, the battery did give me 2 photos, but it had gone. Gutted. So now I carry 3 proper batteries. Oh, up till this day, I still get like, I got it. Yeah, it was a lifer at the time, but I did get one. It must have been the same one flying across the waves later on in the holiday. But this would have been pin sharp. So I don't muck around with batteries anymore. Get those backups. Make sure you've got them on you. Yeah. What is or are your bogey birds? For anyone that doesn't know, bogey bird is one that you should have got a long time ago, but you just seem to keep missing it. I'm going to go for, in terms of, it's not the species because I've seen the female. I'd love to get a male hen harrier. That would be great. I've got most of the raptors now except the goshawk. So yeah, male hen harrier. Strangest experience that really stands out. I suppose, I mean, it wasn't a bird. I quickly say it was a rat with a crab in its jaws coming up the River Thames. But stick with birding. I just remember sitting in the hide at Hall Place and just hearing this squealing, which I thought I was some bird down the river. And I thought, that's not a bird, that's something screaming for its life. And it sounds like a mammal. And I looked through and a grey heron had one of the brown rats in its beak and it was dipping it in the water, ready to swallow it. And eventually it swallowed it. And that was like, that was pretty harsh, that screaming from the rat. So I'll just put that up as a weird experience. I mean, I could go all crazy like, oh yeah, the time I saw this owl, or, you know, something amazing. But yeah, that was quite freaky. So now, what's your current goal bird? Yeah, I think the first one that comes to mind would be a European roller. Whew, those are gorgeous birds. So I've got plenty of bee eaters now. I've gone over to the continent and got all the usual hoopoo and things like that, but nowhere near getting a European roller. And even the people that I speak to online that get them in Spain say it's very rare as well. But that is a beautiful bird. I remember seeing a picture on Twitter of one with a lizard in its mouth, pin sharp. Yeah, roller, European roller. Do you travel? Favorite place? Travel goal? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've traveled very extensively. I mean, I have pictures from other countries before I became a bird watcher of birds because they were there. I used to photograph anything and everything. A roseate spoonbill in Mississippi or Alabama. osprey in the Bahamas, all sorts of stuff. Orioles in Singapore. Favorite place? I mean, I just go simply for Costa Rica. I remember that was like the first proper place I went travel-wise into birding once all the finished. And yeah, like 75 species all around the hotel when on a river trip. And to know that I've still got probably 500 or 600 more because I haven't actually gone into the jungle bit. So for now, yeah, that's the main impressive country I've been to. Yet I've still got to go to. So yeah, that's like the most impressive. It's easy just to say Costa Rica for now. I haven't got anything more impressive than that to say. Okay, how about the furthest you've travelled for one bird? Yeah, so I went to Margate for the Eider. I mean, other places I've gone to, but I didn't go specifically for that bird. So I went to Margate with the intention of seeing the Eider and anything else that was around. And I got to see it very well, video and photos. So arguably Margate. I won't travel anything further than that unless I know it's an absolute guarantee. Like it's been seen every day, every minute for the last 3 weeks. And I'm like, okay, I'll make the sort of 2-hour round trip or something like that. What lists do you keep? Life, local patch, world, etc.? I just keep a life list. I don't faff around with local patches and things like that. And those are good. If you struggle to travel a bit, then obviously it makes things more exciting, because if you get one bird somewhere and then you go somewhere else and you see it, it's nice. When you get into this hobby, it's nice making little lists and goals, and even my you could argue that I've got pictures of birds, and then when I get video of them, I like to say, tick, I've got video of that bird for the first time. But I keep a worldwide list. I might occasionally say it's the first time I've seen one of these at Helmley, or the first time I've seen one of these at Greenwich. So yeah, I keep a world list. Okay, ruffling feathers kind of time. What is your biggest wind-up in the hobby? Or go for more than one if you want. Oh, blimey, yeah, ruffling some feathers. Won't be too controversial. I will say we have great forms of communication now, i.e. WhatsApp, Telegram and things like that, and the ability to inform people where there's been a good sighting. And there's one reserve I go to, which I'm sure you'll guess what it is, that's got one. And I'll be there posting almost everything I see. If I don't post it, it's because it's not there anymore, or don't waste your time coming along. But I get somewhere and somebody said, oh yeah, we saw that. And I'm like, you didn't put it on the WhatsApp. How are we supposed to know? And that drives me nuts, because I went through periods of like, okay, I'm going to stop posting on the WhatsApp group. And then somebody does post and I think, well, they've done it. And, I don't want to be that. I want to be the guy that, lets people know where things are and share. And the hoping, the understanding will be that when they see something, they go, that Justin, he tells people, let's tell him at least. That's the hope. Yeah, nothing much you can do. I don't want to make enemies with dog walkers. Apart from that, just usual stuff, just nothing hugely annoying. I mean, the usual stuff, just, reduce the noise. I mean, I have accidents as well. I've shut the hide door too loudly the other day. There was a hide door I wasn't aware of that would do that. I apologize. So obviously some people might call me a hypocrite if I talk about that sort of thing. So, okay, hope everyone enjoyed that. Justin, tell them your socials so they can find all your work, and nice talking to you. Well, I'm interviewing myself, so as you know, I'm Stormcap Birds on YouTube. I'm Stormcap Birds on Twitter, which is quite successful. My Instagram just never seemed to take off. I think Instagram, the way the algorithm is, if you made your mark about 7 or 8 years ago, then you did well. But now the algorithms just shut you out. So yeah, if I post something on Instagram, I get 20 likes if I'm lucky. On Twitter, it can go up to a recent. I think the Bitten post had 1.6 thousand, and my bar now had 3.6. So it does well on Twitter. You'd assume Instagram is the bigger photo platform, but no. I've got a Facebook page called Stormcab Photography. I should really change that to Stormcab Birds. I should keep it all in one area, one name, so it's easy to remember. So Yeah, okay, nice.